presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
The road trip continues for the Twins. They are in Detroit for the first time this season, opening up a 3-game divisional series against the Tigers. Jose Barrios is making his 4th career start tonight, looking for continued improvement. Jordan Zimmermann has been fantastic for the Tigers. All 7 of his starts have been quality starts, and he leads the American League with that 1.50 ERA. Good evening from Comerica Park. I'm Marnie Gellner. The Twins are just coming off a series where they took 2 of 3 in Cleveland, and it was Minnesota's first series win on the road. And they're hoping that that momentum leads to a 2nd consecutive series win away from home. That's here in Detroit. Get a look at your series setup now. The Twins may have a little payback in mind because the Tigers came to Target Field the last weekend in April and swept a 3-game series, scoring Minnesota 19-8 in those 3 games. Both of these teams, though, they're trying to right themselves. Since May 2nd, 2 weeks ago, the Twins have 3 total wins. The Tigers have 2 wins. These teams are both struggling. But the Twins are coming off that series win with some big moments. Juan Centeno and Jorge Polanco each hit their first career home runs in that series at Cleveland. And Paul Molitor said it was really nice to have those kinds of moments in the clubhouse after the games. Coming up, it's a great Monday matchup of starters, Barrios and Zimmermann. It's near pitch perfect, but it could spell treble for the hitters. That's next.
Jose Berríos has given the Twins and their fans a glimpse of his very bright future, and tonight he'll make his 4th Major League start and his first appearance against the Detroit Tigers. Every time he takes the mound, of course, he's giving away a lot of experience to his mound opponent, and tonight Jordan Zimmermann, off to a great start in his first year in the American League, will be Berríos' mound opponent. Skies have cleared. We got a good night for baseball here at CABRERA Park. Dick and Bert with you for the opening game of this 3-game series. The Twins would like to pay the Tigers back for being swept at Target Field earlier this year. And Jose Berríos hoping to continue to show improvement.
Well, as you mentioned, Dick, he's only making his 4th Major League start. What Berríos wants to do, and you can kind of go back to his opening day start and his Major League debut against the Cleveland Indians. He's a strikeout pitcher. So far, 19 strikeouts for Berríos, but too many pitches in a short amount of time. That's what he is wanting to hope and do a better job of here tonight. For Berríos, he's got outstanding stuff. He knows he has a good fastball. He can get it by a lot of hitters. In his Major League debut, 5 strikeouts in that Cleveland ball game, and then he won his first Major League game against the Houston Astros by pitching in 5 1/3 innings, and in his last start against the Baltimore Orioles, he ended up striking out 6 in that outing. But the big thing, too many pitches in a short amount of time.
Well, the Twins know all too well that you don't really know for sure what you're going to get when you bring a pitcher from the National League over to the American League. Jordan Zimmermann, however, is giving the Tigers a very good first season so far.
Well, he started the season 5-0, the 1.5 earned run average, the best in the American League. All of his starts have been quality starts. He's given up only 8 earned runs in 48 innings pitched. So, and he's a strike thrower. So guys have to be ready to swing that bat here tonight.
And 2 of the best at swinging the bat will face off against each other. Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers and Joe Mauer for the Minnesota Twins. We'll see what happens in the opener of this 3-game series when we come back. Jordan Zimmermann had a fantastic month of April. His 5th start of the month was another win. It came against the Twins. The only run they got against him was on a Byung-Ho Park home run. With Marty Gellner and Bert Blyleven, Dick Bramer here in Detroit. We had some late afternoon rain, but the skies have cleared. It looks like we've got a beautiful night for baseball. And Paul Molitor hoping that the Twins can continue to get some traction that they hope started in Cleveland, now through Detroit here. And Paul Molitor will send out this Menards batting order for the series opener. Joe Mauer leading off, Eduardo Nunez batting second, Sano third. And I believe Byung-Ho Park has been switched to cleanup. We'll find out here momentarily, but Park and Plouffe hitting 4th and 5th, and Dozier, Rosario, Suzuki, and Santana.
And as you mentioned, Dick Zimmerman, you know, he was off to a great start. He did lose his last couple ball games. Over his last 2 starts, he lost 5-1 to the Rangers and then 3-2 in his last start against his former teammates, the Washington Nationals.
Tough assignment in that game. He went up against Max Scherzer, and Scherzer, a former Tiger, struck out 20 of his former teammates. 1-1 to Mauer. Swing and a foul back. Take a look at the umpires. That is Doug Eddings. He has plate duty in the opener. Jeff Nelson, Ben May, Corey Blazer on the bases. 1-2 to Mauer. 2-2 since being moved into the leadoff spot. Joe Mauer has 4 hits in 18 at-bats, and he's drawn 3 walks, so the average is down to 286.
Yeah, again, Paul Molitor just trying to get some base runners on for Sano and Plouffe and Park, and hopefully they can do that here.
That's to the left field corner, and a running catch made by Justin Upton.
Yeah, nice catch by Upton. That ball kept just slicing away from him, but he stayed with it and made the nice catch.
Northland Ford defense. The Tigers hope to improve their defense both in the outfield and the infield. They called up Cameron MAYBIN to play in center field now instead of Anthony Goes. J.D. Martinez in right. Castellanos, Iglesias, Kinsler, Cabrera, the veteran infielder. Saltalamacchia behind the plate.
Yeah, MAYBIN last year with the Braves, went to spring training, ended up getting hit in the ankle, and then he fell trying to catch a fly ball and landed on his shoulder, and now he's activated.
And he plays that ball gingerly, and Nunez has a 1-out single.
Yeah, Nunez continues to hit. Pick up hits here or there. Twins get the first hit of the ball game against Zimmerman. Zimmerman's not going to overpower you, but he is going to attack the strike zone. You have to be ready to swing the bat, and hopefully when that pitch is left up, like it was right there, you take advantage of it.
Nunez aboard with 1 out, and that'll bring up Miguel Sano. Sano hit a home run in the homestand finale against the Orioles, then in the opener against the Indians. 5 home runs on the season, but the average down to 228. Or as it says there, 229.
There has been 3 stolen bases as Nunez dives back in 5 attempts against Zimmerman, again making his 8th start of the season. Saltalamacchia behind the plate. Pretty good throwing arm.
Nunez started and held up. Sano takes a strike. I don't know if he spun his wheels and decided to abort the stolen base attempt.
Well, a lot of loose dirt right there. You know, and the Tigers do not have a running ball club. You wonder if they put a little extra turf on that dirt area right there to slow up some of the runners.
But then it would slow up some of their own, too.
Well, yeah, but they have 9 stolen bases in 12 attempts. They're not a running ball club.
Fouled back.
You know, some clubs, if you have a sinker baller, they'll kind of moisten the area in front of home plate, so soften it up if you have a sinker ball pitcher. Home field advantage.
Dodgers claimed that in the '65 World Series, the Twins grounds crew at Metropolitan Stadium did something like that, watered down the infield so Maury Wills and company wouldn't be running as aggressively. 2 strikes. Now, they never moved the fences back on the days you pitched, did they?
I wish they had.
Yeah.
Telling you, 2 ballparks I love pitching in the most was Yellowstone and Yosemite.
Yeah.
Those are the best parks.
See, here they move the fences in.
Yeah.
That back wall used to be the...
yeah, everything for the hitters. Now, that was a poke. I'm glad they brought that in. It's still 345 down the left field line. And then it goes all the way out to 420 straightaway center with really in left center, that's a little further than the 420 mark. A lot of room. You need quick outfielders here at Comerica Park.
Sano fouls it back to the screen. All right, if you're an optimist, you say, and you're a Twins fan, you say, well, Jordan Zimmerman, his ERA has climbed each of his last 4 starts. If you're a pessimist or a realist, you go, well, it's still only $1.50, 1.5, so Twins want to try to take advantage of every scoring opportunity they can muster against Zimmerman.
Yeah, only Jake Arrieta has the lowest ERA in the American or major leagues. Arrieta 1.29 with the Chicago Cubs.
Sano having a good battle here with Zimmerman. Minimum of 6 innings in every start, as many as 8 innings. He has been, in an otherwise disappointing year for the Tigers, a bright spot. Swing and a miss. Sano strikes out for out number 2.
Like a little cutter right there. Zimmerman picks up his first strikeout.
Time now for greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. And Jordan Zimmerman from Wisconsin, Central Wisconsin. Good career mark against American League Central teams, including a win against the Royals and a win against the Twins already this year.
Zimmerman signed by the Nationals out of the University of Wisconsin at Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Their number 2 pick back in 2007, and then became a free agent, signed with the Tigers, a nice 5-year contract worth about $110 million.
That's a nice contract.
That's
You're right.
A very nice contract.
Throw to first, and Nunez gets back. Zimmerman's given up just 3 home runs on the year. One of them came against Byung Ho Park at Target Field.
I had what we had in the truck. I did not realize that they switched Plouffe and Park.
When we were getting ready to meet with Paul Molitor, bench coach Joe Vavra came in and said the lineup was wrong. There goes Nunez. He takes off. The pitch is inside, and Nunez will steal second. A nice job by Iglesias getting the errant throws that skipped toward center fielder MAYBIN. He cut it off.
Yeah, Nunez picking up his 7th stolen base in 9 attempts. Good jump right there. Saltalamacchia's throw, a one-hopper, gets by Kinsler, but Iglesias there to back it up. So he does get in the scoring position with 2 outs. As you mentioned, it was Park that hit the home run off of Zimmerman in the 4th inning, a solo home run. All 9 of his home runs. Well, he's hit 1 2-run home run. 8 of 9 have been solo home runs.
And Park takes outside 2-0. Twins have a lot of improvement to make to bolster the offense, but one of the things they are doing better than they have done in recent years is run the bases, steal bases. 23 steals and 20 in 30 tries. Grounded towards the hole. Castellanos picks it up, fires across on target, and the Twins leave Nunez at second base. No score after a half inning. Tigers have been struggling to score runs. We'll see if Jose Barrios can put the shackles on tonight. Throw his first pitch of his 4th major league start. Brad Ausmus under fire here. The Tigers were expected to rebound from last year's last place finish, and so far it has not gone well for Detroit. Here's the Menards batting order. Veterans up and down the lineup: Ian Kinsler, J.D. Martinez, Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez, Nick Castellanos having a great year, Justin Upton, Cameron Maybin, Jared Saltalamacchia, and Jose Iglesias.
Yeah, they're fourth in the American League and hitting at .255, but they have not scored a lot of runs, and that's what Jose Berrios hopes to do here, is keep them off the scoreboard, making his fourth Major League start, of course his first against the Tigers.
Notorious first ball hitter, and Kinsler takes the first pitch and hits it out.
Well, that doesn't keep him off the scoreboard. Well, he's done that many times in his career. Kinsler looked like a breaking ball, just jumped all over it, his 8th home run of the year. His 5th home run allowed, that's Berrios.
He loves to swing at that first pitch.
Yep.
He swings for the fences with that first pitch, and he cleared the fences here.
Well, that's a fastball, left middle in. You see Suzuki wanted it away.
What percentage of times, and you had, an historically good curveball, strike one. What percentage of the time would you start a ball game with something other than a fastball?
Well, I would probably against Kinsler, only because he has a reputation of being a first ball hitter. Ricky Henderson was that way. He was ready to hit, so you had to make sure that you change speeds on him right off the get-go.
1-1 to J.D. Martinez. Hit one of the bigger home runs of the year for the Tigers yesterday against Darren O'Day. Tied the game late in the 8th inning, and then Miguel Cabrera followed with another one. It would have been a very disheartening loss. Had the Tigers lost yesterday, they would have been swept in a 4-game series by the Orioles. Well, outside says Doug Eddings, and it's 3-1.
Now for Kinsler, that home run, that was his first leadoff home run this year.
And fouled away, 3-2. Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Eddie Rosario back out in left field. Danny Santana in center. Miguel Sano in right. Plouffe and Dozier are back in the lineups, back at third and second. Nunez at short, Mauer at first, and Suzuki back behind the plate. Full count, Berrios to Martinez. And he missed inside. So a first pitch home run and then a walk. And now Miguel Cabrera, who hit a couple of home runs in Baltimore, and the Orioles are hoping that he's starting to swing it again.
Cabrera, he's hitting at only 286, a guy that's a well over 300 hitter last 20 ball games. That's the Cabrera that has won all those batting titles. He's starting to heat up here for the Tigers. 4-time batting championship, or batting titles that Cabrera has. Came into this year a .321 career hitter. This is his 14th season. 9th season with the Tigers.
Inside with Berrios missing. .320 career batting average, tops on the list. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1.
I think we've seen enough of Cabrera. There's no one way to pitch this guy. You have to show him that you will come in, but then you have to also work the plate, both sides of the plate. He has power to all fields.
Paul Molitor was comparing Miguel Cabrera to Edgar Martinez. The comparison in this instance was Edgar would hit the ball away and drive it to the opposite field so well, so you thought, okay, I'll get inside and get a strike inside, and they almost always were ready for it. And that was the case with the home run he hit yesterday in Baltimore. Darren O'Day came inside, and Cabrera was waiting for it. Oh my.
I was going to talk about his quick hands, and he showed some quick hands there with a great back-to-bat toss.
A majestic bat toss, about 10 rows back, but that had some height.
Luckily, nobody's hurt with that flying bat. He's not going to give it up.
You're paying pretty good money, you know, for that seat, and you're thinking I might get a foul ball.
Yeah, Cabrera kind of looking up in the stand saying, hey, you know, bring it back. I'll exchange it for a new one.
He said, go keep it.
No, I believe they're bringing it back.
Well, Cabrera's got a different stick. He's ready to go. Tapper foul.
No, I was watching Cabrera. He said, bring it back, and I'll, turns his hand over like I'll exchange it for a new one. Well, very nice. So I'd hold out for maybe an autographed baseball along the way.
I'd hold out
his
for
car.
I was going to say, I'd hold out for a car, a Rolex, something like that. Missing inside, and now it's 3-2, and Berrios is struggling here. I don't know whether the first pitch home run rattled him at all or not.
Yeah, 13 pitches, only 6 strikes.
Victor Martinez on deck. Doesn't get any easier behind Cabrera. Full count. J.D. Martinez goes, and the pitch tap foul. An awful lot of talent in that trade that brought Cabrera to the Tigers. Tigers also got Dontrell Willis. They gave up Andrew Miller, who's now part of a really good Yankee bullpen. And the cornerstone was Cameron MAYBIN, who they just called up to put in center field for the Tigers.
Yeah, that happening in December of 2007. So back-to-back walks for Berrios.
And now Victor Martinez will hit. Had an incredible series at Target Field, going 9 for 13. Scoring 6 runs and driving in 3.
He's been red hot too. He's second in the American League in hitting, and it doesn't matter what side of the plate. He's a 300 hitter from both sides of the plate. As a left-handed hitter this year, hitting 369.
Last year it did matter which side of the plate. He was okay from the right side, but had all sorts of leg issues on his left leg and couldn't push off and hit very well from the left side of the plate. Big spot here for Berrios now, and he delivers a strike on the outside corner.
Well, Berrios wanted to get some ground ball outs, and this would be a good spot to keep that ball down, utilize that two-seamer that will run away from Martinez. Hopefully he can beat it into the ground.
Tell you what, depending on where it's hit, it could be a triple play. Neither Cabrera nor Martinez, Victor, run very well. Chop to the right side, and they're only going to get one.
A swinging bunt.
J.D. Martinez to third. Miguel Cabrera to second, 1 away, and that'll bring up Castellanos.
Very productive out, advancing both runners.
Castellanos had a pretty good series at Target Field in April. 6 hits, 11 at bats, couple of home runs.
A .344 batting average.
Castellanos and then Upton. Base hit left field. J.D. Martinez will score. Cabrera will be held at third, and it's 2-0 Detroit.
Castellanos continues to drive in runs. Now 29 runs batted in. Robinson Cano leading the American League, driving in 34 runs. Jumping on that first pitch, and it's a 2-0 Tigers lead.
And now Justin Upton leading the American League in strikeouts by plenty. He's already struck out 60 times this year. And Berrios could use one right here.
60 times in 148 at-bats.
When you think about it, we're about a fifth of the way through the schedule. So you take 60.
Ooh, times it by 5.
And you multiply it times 5. What do you come up with?
Let me think. Let me get my calculator out. I got the 300. He's not going to get 300 strikeouts.
300 strikeouts.
No way. No way.
1 strike from Berríos. And a called second strike. Miguel Sano earlier tonight struck out for the 50th time. He's tied for second in the American League in strikeouts. We saw Mike Napoli in the Cleveland series. He's up there. Brent Laurie is up there. 0-2 to Upton.
Suzuki sitting away.
And he doesn't chase the breaking ball.
Upton, a free agent over the winter last year with the Padres, signed a 6-year contract with the Tigers. That means fastball, the 2-seamer, run it in there.
Just missed the corner. And it's 2-2. 22 pitches. Still just 1 out on the board. Let's take a look at that last pitch.
Not a bad pitch right there. You'll find out. Will Eddings give me that? And that's inside.
Even you admit that.
That is.
2-2 to Upton. That's lifted down the right field line and into the seats. Well, almost all of Tyler Duffy's strikeouts have come on a breaking ball. Berríos seems to have split his strikeouts with a fastball, changeup, and a breaking ball. He just needs to get one here. Blocked by Suzuki, and now it's a full count. He's thrown a couple of breaking balls, and Upton very susceptible, particularly with 2 strikes, to swing and miss at that pitch, but he hasn't offered on it yet. Already 2 walks in the inning, 2 hits and 2 runs. There's the strikeout, 2 down.
Yeah, he pulled the string right there, and Upton a little out front, so good changeup right there. Gets a big out here in the first inning. Took a little off that fastball, good sink on it. And Upton striking out for the 61st time.
And now Cameron MAYBIN. MAYBIN's career just didn't blossom like many people thought it would when he was with the Tigers the first time.
Yeah, he was the Tigers' #1 pick back in 2005. 10th overall pick.
And that ball kicks out toward the mound. Another pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-0 to MAYBIN.
Went to the breaking ball. Suzuki, like he hit off his left wrist and then carry him back toward the mound.
One 1-0 to MAYBIN. Two 2-0. Take a look at our Sanford Health injury report. Anthony Goes going down to AAA, and MAYBIN, who went on the disabled list with a left wrist fracture, then had some shoulder issues after that. Now with the Tigers for the first time this year. 3-0. Saltalamacchia on deck.
Yeah, MAYBIN first came up with the Tigers in 2007. Played in only 24 ball games, then traded over to the Marlins, spent time with the Padres, last year with the Braves. Had a pretty good year, hit .267 in 141 ball games.
Squirted down the line, foul, and it's 3-1. MAYBIN busted his bat on the 3-0 pitch. Given the green light.
Let's take a look where the barrel of the bat ends up, and he's left with the handle. Look at that. Good wood. They should make more bats like that.
You could see that writing fastball of Barrios got in on the trademark and shattered a bat. This will be the 30th pitch of the first inning for Barrios. And he missed inside. Third walk of the inning.
Yeah, Neil Allen coming out.
A first pitch home run, 3 walks, an RBI single.
An early quick trip to the mound by the pitching coach Neil Allen, trying to get him back in that strike zone. Barrios came into the ballgame in his first 3 starts, 8 walks in 14 1/3 innings with 19 strikeouts. But again, averaging about 20 pitches per inning in the 14 1/3 innings he's pitched so far. And he's got 30 here in the first.
We saw Tyler Duffy yesterday in Cleveland do such a good job throwing first pitch strikes, but when you throw your first pitch strike and it gets clobbered over the fence,
well,
it's got to set you on your heels a little bit.
Duffy faced 28 batters, 22 were first pitch strikes.
Bases full, 2 down, and there is ball 1, not close. Barrios did okay against the Orioles. Picked up the win in Houston. His mound opponent that night was Dallas Keuchel. 2-0. Keuchel just about unbeatable at Minute Maid Park. Now 2-0 to Saltalamacchia.
Yeah, Saltalamacchia in his first season with the Tigers.
Foul back, 2-1. Probably happened to you quite a few times over your long career, especially when you're 21 years old, I suppose. But I mean, he's pitching for the ball game right here in the first inning.
Oh yeah.
2-1 to Saltalamacchia.
I've been there.
3-1. Barrios has thrown 34 pitches and only 16 strikes.
Now you put yourself in that situation. You have to throw a fastball and he misses.
A bases loaded walk.
A 3-run batted in for Saltalamacchia, his 19th of the year, and it's a 3-0 lead.
Iglesias will bat with the bases loaded.
Some early action in the Twins bullpen. Pat Dean getting loose.
Barrios incrementally better in his first 3 starts from start to start, but very rough first inning here tonight. Up high, ball 1. Just can't find the strike zone. 4 walks in the first inning.
Take!
1-1. He had 5 walks in that start in Houston, but that was over 5 1/3 innings, and just 1 walk in his 5 innings against the Orioles. 2-1.
Well, I think the nerves have him right now. He's just rattled. You can kind of see the way his mannerisms on the mound. He's afraid to throw the ball over the plate right now.
Deep to left center field. Toward the flagpole and off the fence. It'll clear the bases. Iglesias with a 3-run double, and it's 6-0.
Ball behind, you have to come in with a fastball. Hitters know that. And Iglesias jumping all over that fastball. Came into this ball game in 32 games with only 3 runs batted in, and he knocked in 3 right there. So Paul Molitor out. And it's a quick evening for Jose Barrios. 1 time through the lineup.
Retiring just 2 batters, 6 earned runs. And Barrios has a very disappointing 4th major league start. We'll get an extended look at Pat Dean when we come back with the Tigers jumping on the Twins and Barrios in the first inning. home run, and he was unable to even complete the very first inning tonight, having given up 6 earned runs.
Believe me, that's going to happen to you whether it's your 4th start or if it's your 200 start. You're going to have games like this, and you can see nobody's sitting near him. He needs a friend right now.
Well, Kinsler was the guy who hit the first pitch over the fence for a home run to start the ball game, start the inning for the Tigers. They've added 5 runs since. They've got a runner at second with 2 down.
Yeah, I mentioned that, Kinsler, that he's done that a lot in his career. That was the 33rd time that he has led off a ball game with a home run. First time this year. Pat Dean taking over for Berea, trying to get that final out here in the first. Dean making his 2nd major league appearance.
Ball 1.
His first one coming back on the 11th of May in Minnesota against the Orioles. He worked 2 2/3 innings, gave up 4 hits, a couple runs, couple walks, 3 strikeouts. Twins lost that ball game 9-2.
There's a strike, 1-1.
What you do get from Pat Dean is a guy that can go multi-innings because he's mainly been a starter in the minor leagues.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Good change up there.
Twins had a good series in Cleveland, and it was fun to be a part of. Not just because the Twins won, but they got competitive starting pitching, and that has increasingly been a problem. Not so much the first couple weeks of the year when the Twins starters were doing okay, but whether it's Phil Hughes going 2 innings or now Barrios going 2/3 of an inning, and Suzuki's had quite an active bottom of the first inning here. 2-2. It just, even with 7 relief pitchers, it just takes forever to realign things after a very short start like this. 2-2.
And Irvin Santana talking to him right there. That's good. The veteran right-hander. Dean, not an overpowering left-hander. Irvin doing the talking. He'll mix in a curveball, slider, very good changeup. Fastball clock between 87 and 92.
Full count. Right field, short right field.
That's trouble.
And Dozier has the ball bounce off his glove. Another run will score, and Kinsler goes to second. Sano playing back a deep right field, and he wasn't able to get there. Dozier got leather on it, but it is a bloop double and another run for the Tigers in the first inning.
Yeah, just off the end of the bat. The ball hit not deep enough for Sano to catch up to it. The only one that had an opportunity was Brian Dozier. All-out effort right here. Watch Dozier, but he's playing up the middle a little bit, so he's got to go a long way. Dives for it, and it hits off his glove. Great effort, but comes up short. And Kinsler picking up his 2nd RBI of the inning, now with 20 on the year.
Ball 1 to J.D. Martinez. Dean's come out of the bullpen and thrown 7 pitches, but just 3 strikes.
Well, the book is closed on Barrios. 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 7 runs, all earned. With the 4 walks and a strikeout.
2-0, and Suzuki out to try to get Dean back into the strike zone. Eight pitches for Dean, so far 3 strikes. And Jordan Zimmerman, who saw his teammates strike out 20 times in his last start against Max Scherzer, has an abundance of early run support tonight. Two and 0 to J.D. Martinez. And now 2-1. Tigers came into the game in 4th place, 5 games below 500. 5.5 games ahead of the Twins. the center, and Santana's got a long run, and he won't get there. That ball will go to the deepest part of the park. J.D. Martinez will hold up with an RBI double, and it's 8-0.
That's an inning that will not end. Martinez drives in a run, his 17th of the year, on his 7th double.
And now Miguel Cabrera, who walked and scored earlier this inning. Fouled away, 1 strike. The outs were a number off the bat of Martinez towards Mauer, and then Upton struck out. That's been it. Base hit left field.
It was like a nightmare.
And Rosario fires it back in. First and third, still 2 away, and now Victor Martinez.
Well, Barrios had a tough time throwing strikes with 4 walks, and Pat Deans had a tough time getting that final out. 3 straight hits, RBI single, RBI double, and then the single there to Cabrera.
8-0. And Trevor Plouffe and Brian Dozier have yet to hit. Strike over the inside corner. Nunez flags it down, and Dozier with a 1-hop pickup.
Thank God the inning's over.
And it took a great play for the inning to end. 8 for the Tigers in the first.
That first inning here at Comerica Park, and now Twins hitters have a lot of ground to cover, and they'll try to do it against Jordan Zimmermann, but he is a guy who has had a great season. I asked a couple of people about the approach against Zimmermann, and hitting coach Tom Brunansky told me, well, first thing is that experience facing a guy and then turning around to facing him again is one of the best things for hitters, and the Twins did face Zimmermann 2.5 weeks ago at Target Field. Bruno said we have to use that to our advantage. We have to remember the game plan at the plate and be disciplined about some of the pitches we swing at. And Brian Dozier said that the Twins were a little bit surprised at how many 88 to 89 sliders that Zimmermann threw in that last appearance at Target Field. And Dozier said he lives off that pitch. He'll live and die with it, and we have to be ready for it.
Well, he's got a big early lead. Thank you, Marty. It's 8-0, and now 2 quick strikes to Trevor Plouffe.
Yeah, he can get it up in the mid-90s, but that's kind of his pitch. That little cutter, slider, whatever they want to call it today. Also has a curveball.
In his last couple years with the Nationals, his velocity, his average velocity, came down. And so with the Tigers extending multiple years, a lot of money to Zimmerman, the only concern was, would the velocity continue to come down? Just missing inside 2-2. Now so far the velocity's fine. We've seen 93 and 94, I believe. I don't know that we've seen anything higher than that.
Well, you've seen a 93, low was 79.
Yep. There's a swing and a miss.
A good pitch inside, and Zimmerman picks up his second strikeout.
And tonight's Toyota Key Stat, a comparison of Tigers pitching. It's Zimmerman and Verlander, whom the Twins will see on Wednesday, and then the rest of the starters have really struggled. Mike Pelfrey will make the start tomorrow for the Tigers, actually coming off his best start as a Tiger his last time out. Strike call to Brian Dozier, who doesn't agree with Doug Eddings. Dozier hitting 6th again, the average down to 218. And more than that, the on-base percentage is 307. The Major League average for on-base percentage, hitters 1 through 9, American League, National League, is 320. Up the middle, and Dozier will get an infield hit. Nice stop by Kinsler, but no chance to get Dozier. He's aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, there's a little cutter right there, but he left it about belt high, and Brian hitting it right back up the middle. Take a look at the location ahead in the count. Brian reaching out, poking it up the middle, and gets a second hit for the Twins.
Here's Rosario. Twins are hoping that he can continue to nudge his batting average north. It was in the below 200 range. A good ball game yesterday in Cleveland, and he takes strike 1. Zimmerman fires a one-hop shot, and they get the lead runner at second base. Zimmerman sitting down on the mound. Threw low. Iglesias picked it up. They got the force at second for out number 2.
You know what, Iglesias, such good hands at short. That could have been disastrous right there, but the shortstop can downright pick it. Zimmerman's follow through. Got behind him, and then the low throw, and Iglesias made it look like it was nothing.
2 down, a runner at first, and now Kurt Suzuki. Juan Centeno getting back-to-back starts in Cleveland. Twins hope that something will perk up Suzuki's bat. The Twins lineup, to the extent this underperforming lineup can be top heavy, it surely is. You've got Mauer hitting in the leadoff spot, and Nunez hitting over 330. Sano doing his thing, not hitting for the average he will eventually. There's a high drive to left center field. That's hit pretty well. Going back is Upton, and Suzuki has put the Twins on the board with his first home run of the year.
Well, you know what? He caught Zimmerman in Washington, so he maybe knows a little bit about Jordan Zimmerman, and he took advantage of a pitch that kind of stayed right there. It was a hanger, and Suzuki did not miss it. His first home run. Good solid swing by Kurt. It's an 8-2 ball game. And
now Danny Santana. The Twins hitters who've done anything at all are hitting in the top half of the lineup, and then the guys who've been struggling, including Santana, he's hitting just .247. He flips it foul, 2 strikes.
For Kurt Suzuki, his first home run since September 9th of last year, when he hit a home run in Kansas City.
That's a fair ball, and Cabrera has it, beats Santana to the bag, and the Twins are done in the second, but they get a base hit and a home run. They're on the board. It's 8-2.
The bottom of the second for the Tigers, and he is one of the best hitters in the American League this season. There is his hot zone, but more importantly, where's his cold zone? Where it is up and in. I spoke to Minnesota pitching coach Neil Allen about that, and he said, yeah, it's definitely the spot that we want to go, but we have to locate there. And Allen said, once you go up and in, it's not a bad idea to go right back there, and then maybe we can get him out soft and away, but we have to locate. And Allen said the ball right now looks like a beach ball to a guy like Castellanos, so we have to try to tie him up inside. The Twins, Dick and Bert, are going to try to get Castellanos to chase up the ladder, up and in specifically here tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Marnie. Actually, the last pitch, that's exactly where Suzuki sat, and he's creeping back inside again.
Flared foul.
Yep.
Now, we don't know where this season's going to end, where the numbers are going to sit by the end of the season for Castellanos, but I mean, they're delighted here in Detroit, but they're also a bit surprised. They projected him to be a good hitter, but he came into this season with just over, well, 1,100 at bats total in parts of 3 years as a .257 hitter. 1,100 major league at bats and 293 strikeouts.
Well, let me tell you, if you have a guy like Cabrera and also Victor Martinez, you know, around you, and you watch them work, and I think it's going to make you a better hitter. Yeah, is he going to hit 350? I don't know, but he has really turned it on this year.
He's done well against the Twins, as we mentioned before. Had a good series against the Orioles.
Oh, look at that over the last 17 ball games. You know, 383, hitting some long balls and driving in some runs. He leads the Tigers in runs batted in.
To center. Santana back a couple of steps for the first out. And that'll bring up Justin Upton.
Those 8 runs in the first inning against the Twins, it's the most runs that the Tigers have scored in one inning since September 30th, or excuse me, September 23rd of 2006, when they scored 10 runs against the Kansas City Royals.
Here's Upton, a strikeout victim in the first, and he takes low, ball one. Upton came into the year as a .271 major league hitter. 2-0. His career high in strikeouts came 2 years ago when he struck out 171 times for the Braves in 566 at bats.
That's nothing. You got a chance to shatter that.
I'll have that by the All-Star break.
Yeah, what the heck? Well, Upton, 28 years old, a 3-time All-Star. Made the All-Star team last year for the Padres. First 2 All-Star appearances coming as a Arizona Diamondback.
2-2. And a called third strike. Another strikeout for Upton, who's starting to hear it from the Tiger fans.
Gene picking up his first strikeout, going inside, and Upton giving up on it. And Suzuki holding it and getting the call. Dean made 6 starts down in Rochester, so he can hopefully get deep into the ball game, save some of the other arms in the bullpen. His minor league career basically always a starter.
MAYBIN chops it foul. And a called second strike. No swing. MAYBIN with about 2,400 major league at bats, a .251 hitter.
Yeah, 42 home runs. He's very quick. 116 stolen bases. He kind of punches a pitch there, taking it the other way. Picks up his first hit in a Tiger uniform.
Since 2007.
Well, 2007.
Twins
watch the ball.
Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Download the app, take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball with you wherever you go. And now Saltalamacchia popped it up near the Twins dugout and out of play. Saltalamacchia drew a walk in front of Iglesias's bases clearing double.
Yeah, that is a left-handed hitter. Now is a right-handed hitter. Saltalamacchia, 2 hits in 18 at bats, a 111 average.
One and one.
James McCann, a normal catcher, everyday catcher last year for the Tigers, still kind of off to a slow start. Started the season on a disabled list. Had that right ankle strain, just activated in early May.
2-1.
So Saltalamacchia getting some playing time.
Two and one to Saltalamacchia. Runner goes inside, and an easy steal of second from MAYBIN.
Boy, you would think, early in the ball game, is that the right thing to do with a 6-run lead? Yeah, I think this is exactly the right thing to do. You want to keep adding on. It's not like in the 6th or 7th inning. MAYBIN stealing a base, his first.
3-1 to Saltalamacchia. Popped up and out of play. Don't see many foul balls like that from a right-handed batter. Foul it over his left shoulder. Full count to the Tiger catcher. And Dean strikes out Saltalamacchia. The Tigers leave MAYBIN at second. It's 8-2. By CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. And by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Very rough start for Jose Berrios. He was knocked out in the first inning, charged with 7 runs. And we head now to the third inning. It's 8-2. Twins got a lot of work to do just to get back to within range in this game. It'll be Mauer, Nunez, and Sano in the third inning.
Well, they got 2 of those 8 runs back with the Suzuki home run.
Mauer takes a strike. Mauer with a liner to the corner, caught by Upton.
There's a curveball right there for strike 2.
34 pitches, 24 strikes.
Yep. Getting strike 1, 9 of 10 first pitch strikes for Zimmerman.
And Mauer fouls it over the Tiger dugout. Joe's typically hit well in this ballpark. Twins were humiliated by the Tigers to start last season. Then they came back and still won the season series and put the Tigers in last place in the division last year. Actually, they put themselves there. Twins contributed. 1-2. And Mauer strikes out. 1 away here in the third.
After the little cutter, then the slow curveball, you threw that 93-mile-an-hour fastball by him.
Zimmerman was pitching against his former team, the Nationals, but so too Max Scherzer was pitching against his former team, the Tigers.
Sometimes it's not how you pitch, it's when you pitch. When your mound opponent did what Scherzer did, well, you tip your hat, but you know what? Credit Zimmerman, it was a 3-2 ball game. He kept his club in the game, giving him a chance, but Scherzer was just too tough.
Here's Nunez. single in the first inning. Got as far as second base. Stole second. And then the rout started. Twins didn't score. The Tigers did 8 times in the first inning. Inside, 1-1.
Zimmerman has one no-hitter to his credit. That came back on the final day of the season back in September 28th of 2014. Pitched a no-hitter against the Miami Marlins. Won that ball game 1-0.
And a strike, 2-2.
He said he has not walked back-to-back batters in over 2 years, Zimmerman. That's the kind of control he has. 1.8 walks per 9 innings in his career. This is his 186th major league start. Has 75 wins, 52 losses. Very good earned run average at 3.24.
3-2 to Nunez. And Cabrera gets the first hop to the bag for out number 2. Coming up May 19th, Star Wars Night at Target Field. A limited number of Star Wars Night themed ticket packages are available. That include a game ticket and Plouffe Skywalker bobbleheads. Go to twinsbaseball.com/Star Wars to learn more about the Star Wars Night offer.
You didn't do that. You just read that kind of normal.
I've just given the score. You know, it's 8-2.
Well, we're not done yet.
No, I know.
It's only in the 3rd inning.
So no, drives one to deep left field.
See? There we go.
And it's 8-3. Home run number 6 for Miguel Sano.
So the Twins would get within 5, so you just keep pecking away.
Tell you what, we get this game tied up. I'll come back and read that promo with a little more zest.
Well, Zimmerman with that, I think it wanted to be a cutter, but just kind of hung middle in. Yeah, good swing by Sano, showing off that power with his 6th home run of the year. So 2nd home run of the ball game against Zimmerman.
Twins have scored 4 runs against Zimmerman this year on 3 home runs. First ball hitting. Park chops it to third. And Castellanos throws him out. It's 8-3.
Here we come.
Cursive.com.
We're toying with them.
Got them right where we want them.
Yeah.
Since 1961, what is the Tigers' record for the most runs scored in a game against the Twins? Now, for these, questions. We are allowed a plus or minus of 2 either way. So I'm guessing it's high teens. I'll go 17. That'll cover 15 through 19.
Oh, do I want to go?
You want to go higher than that?
Yeah. 22 maybe?
Yeah. Why don't you go 22? It's got to be in there someplace.
Okay.
1-1. Iglesias came into the game with 3 runs batted in. And he got 3 on 1 swing in the first inning. A bases clearing double. He was the last man Jose Barrios faced, and now Dean gets ahead 1-2.
Dean doing a pretty good job of hitting that inner part of the plate. Suzuki again creeping inside. And a little cutter, slider.
One and 2. That is a foul ball. Mentioned earlier that Brad Ausmus has been on the hot seat really since last year. The Tigers had him under contract through this year and announced one of our trips here to Detroit that they were going to bring him back. Not extending his contract, just honoring the final year of the deal. 1-2 to Iglesias. That one hooked foul. And then the Tigers got off to a bad start this year through a month and a half of the season. And the one thing that has been nice from a distance is the Tiger players saying all the right things, that it's not the manager's fault, that the players have to play, that it's their fault. I mean, they got a payroll of like $200 million here, and they need to perform better, and it's not Ausmus's fault. Now, that won't do anything to offer him any job security, but I think the players here in Detroit understand that they're the ones who are responsible for a sub-500 record, not the manager.
Well, that's no different than any other manager gets fired. The players, I mean, if they don't know it's their fault, my goodness, the manager and his coaching staff, you know, nobody puts in more time than those guys. It's up to the players to perform.
Dean battling Iglesias, still 2-2. And a swing and a miss, a strikeout.
Dean picking up his 3rd strikeout. First 3 batters he faced in that first inning got base hits, but now settling down nicely, picking up a strikeout. Good changeup right there.
Kinsler hit the first pitch thrown by Jose Barrios over the fence and left for a home run. Then hit a pop fly double that drove in a run later that inning. He scored 2 runs, got 2 hits, drove in 2 runs. That's a pretty good first inning.
Yeah, it is. He's done for the day. Just making out here. Yeah, he does not.
He's already a triple short of the cycle. 3 hits in the first 3 innings. A home run, double, and single. And now J.D. Martinez.
Well, he fought off that fastball again. Kinsler has always been a good hitter. Remember when he first came up with the Texas Rangers, 4-time All-Star.
Now we saw the Tigers stealing with 2 outs in the second inning, down by 6 runs. No reason to believe that if Dean doesn't pay attention to Kinsler, they won't try to steal here, leading by 5 1 inning later.
Haven't seen a lot of Pat Dean as far as his move to first base. A lot of lefties like to bring up that leg and maybe hold it for a split second, like maybe say a Tommy Malone.
Slide step.
Yep.
Gets rid of it pretty quickly. 1 strike to J.D. Martinez. And there's a ball. Just one team in the American League Central with a winning record. That, of course, the Chicago White Sox. And time call. Twins brought the Indians back to the 500 mark, winning 2 out of 3 in Cleveland. Twins have only won 3 series, and 2 of them have been against the Indians. The Indians have won all 6 against the Tigers, but the Tigers have already won 3 against the Twins and are on their way perhaps to their 4th win against the Twins. So you can't make sense of any of it other than the fact that Twins.
You know, again, it's a roller coaster ride. You know,
it's
and you
not.
have to.
It's the octopus or the tilt-a-whirl.
Last 13 ball games coming into this game, Tigers are 2-11.
Bouncer to third. Plouffe to Dozier, and a nice double play with J.D. Martinez wrapping into an inning-ending double play onto the 4th. It's 8-3.
Yeah, very nice. Congratulations. You know what? And I think the Wolves keep them together. You're building something nice there.
Yeah, it usually when the team, or in any sport, any franchise that has struggled, when you start getting those #1 draft picks and they click like they have with the Wolves. There's a ball hit to left center field. That's down for a hit. Twins trying to peck away at this mammoth early Tiger lead. It usually bodes well for a fairly quick turnaround. I guess I'm not a Wolves season ticket holder. They would probably say it hasn't been that quick, but you got a new coach. You got some of the best young talent in the league.
Right. We hope it all pans out.
Plouffe aboard, and now Dozier got a single his first time up.
Yeah, Twins get their 5th hit of the ball game. Again, 2 of those 5 hits have left the ballpark.
One 1-0 to Dozier. Jordan Zimmerman staked to an early 8-0 lead, but the Twins have chipped away at it. And now Dozier takes a strike, 1-1. Didn't mean to, and a check swing foul, 1-2. 1-2 to the Twins' second baseman. Fouled away. Twins had a couple of lopsided losses to the Tigers at Target Field. The last game was a close one, a 1-run loss. It was just 6-10 at home, but now a couple of road wins have given them improved the record, believe it or not, to 4-16.
See if they go back inside to Brian Dozier or try to throw that little cutter away. Saltalamacchia putting down the sign, creeping away. And staying with that fastball, and Brian fouling a straight back. Brian in his 5th season with the Twins, of course, made the All-Star team last year. Led the club with 28 home runs. Saltalamacchia getting ready against Zimmerman. The 3. Slider, cutter.
Dribble to the right side. And Kinsler throws him out. One of the few times Dozier's hit where the second baseman's been on the traditional side of second base. Otherwise that ball would have bled through for a base hit.
He does advance Plouffe into scoring position. It's a good slider down and away, and Brian just went that way but hit it softly to Kinsler.
Starting with Dozier, now Rosario, Suzuki, Santana. Twins again with some hitters down in the bottom of the order that have really been struggling. Rosario fouls it back.
Boy, the 2 wins in Cleveland, remember, it was a lower part of the lineup that kind of helped the Twins win those 2 ball games. Rosario coming into this ball game on a 6-game over the last 6 ball games, hitting .318.
To third base, and the ball thrown into left field. Plouffe will score. He would have been out by 5 feet with a good throw, and Saltalamacchia threw a sinker.
Yeah, Castellanos was playing off the third base bag, and maybe that's what Trevor thought and saw. So he took off, and Castellanos actually never got to third base. You see where he's playing, and it's a foot race right here. Castellanos, I don't know if he was even if he was near the bag. He was playing still behind the bag.
Stolen base and an error will be charged to Castellanos, and the Twins have cut the lead in half. And now Rosario takes outside. Rosario reached in a fielder's choice, scored on Suzuki's home run. Fouled away. Light rain is falling here at CABRERA Park.
Yeah, Trevor Plouffe getting a stolen base, and then the error on Saltalamacchia behind the plate, his 3rd of the year. And for the Tigers, their 19th.
And the rain intensity is picking up, and a lot of the fans are heading for cover. Two and two to Rosario, 1 out here in the 4th.
Well, the Tigers took batting practice, and then during the Twins batting practice, they had to put the tarp on. But the game started on time.
Depends on who you ask. If you asked Jose Barrios, he probably didn't think the game started on time at all.
He wanted a mulligan.
Driven toward the gap, and that ball dropped and left by Upton. Rosario to second base, and he's there with a double. Upton got over there and looked like he got leather on it, but he didn't hold it.
Yeah, that wind blowing hard out to left field. The ball maybe stayed up a little bit longer than Upton anticipated. Kind of dove for that ball. I don't know if it had some sink on it. Let's take a look at the pitch right here. Pretty much right down the heart of the plate. Rosario taking it the other way. Upton going to his left. He just misjudged it.
Yes, he did. Fox Tracks presented by Dodge.
Ended up trapping it. And it should be a double for Rosario.
First time this year that Jordan Zimmerman's given up 4 runs, and they all will be earned runs here. And now Suzuki, who homered his first time up, has a chance to get the Twins to within another run with a hit to the outfield.
And it is a double for Rosario, his 5th of the year. I mentioned his first at bat. Suzuki did catch Zimmerman in Washington back in 2012 and 13.
Fouled back, a strike.
Good swing there. And just like that, the rain let up.
And Rosario heads back to the bag.
You know, there's some pitchers, and I've pitched with a lot of them. I know myself, there were games that you get a lot of runs early, and maybe it's not your focus, but all of a sudden you're letting that other team back in. I had a game, I remember Bill Schroeder, the analyst for the Milwaukee Brewers, was catching me with the Angels. I had an early 7-0 lead against the Brewers when I was pitching for the Angels. And I think they ended up beating us 17-7. They came back and cleaned our clock.
1 strike.
I think I was out of there by the 4th inning. I felt bad for Schroeder because he caught all 9 innings in about 100-degree heat.
Just off the plate. The most infamous.
I say I feel bad. For Rock, no.
The most infamous example in Twins history, of course, was late in the 1984 season when Frank Viola, of all people, was given a 10-0 lead in Cleveland.
I was there.
You were playing for the other guys.
Yes.
Huh? Everybody for the Indians got a hit except you. 1-1.
Yeah, my bat wasn't long enough.
And a base hit to left field. Rosario to third. And Santana will bat.
Yeah, Rosario had to hold up. He had to make sure that ball got through the infield, and he scooted to third.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. You can watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Includes a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. And now Santana with what is suddenly an awfully big at bat for Jordan Zimmerman. Mauer's in the on-deck circle. He represents the tying run, and Santana takes a strike.
Yeah, what you need here, you need contact right here. Santana and his speed. Just get the ball somewhere softly in the infield. You're going to pick up an RBI. He has not hit into a double play because of that speed. But just make good contact. There you go. There you go.
Castellanos can't get it. Or he did get it, but he has no play, and it's an infield hit. It was the shortstop Iglesias who got the ball, and a run scores, and now here comes Mauer representing the tying run.
Rosario scoring for the 2nd time. Santana picking up an RBI, his 6th of the year, and he does make contact. Beat it right in front of home plate, out of the reach of Castellanos. And Iglesias has no play.
Mauer line to left, caught by Upton, and then he struck out in the 3rd. My goodness. 8-5, and only 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Fouled away, 1 strike.
Yeah, the 8 hits, the most hits that Zimmerman has allowed this season, came in 48 innings. Pitched, 42 hits allowed. 4 times he gave up 7 hits in an outing. Need a double right here. That's a call.
Breaking ball over, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, he's changing speeds really well on Joe in his last at bat. A lot of off-speed pitches. Then he threw that 93-mile-an-hour fastball by him for that strikeout. His last strikeout, that came in the 3rd inning, last inning.
2 strikes to Mauer. got him inside. Second time of the ball game that Joe has struck out. And that'll bring up Nunez.
And a big strikeout for Zimmerman, his fourth. Well, that slider cutter down and in. It's a tough pitch for left-handers. They like it down there, but that ball just kept running in on Joe.
Nunez with a single and a stolen base in the first inning, and then he hit a ground ball to Cabrera in the third. Over the inside corner. Twins were down 8-0. They got 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 so far here in the fourth. Still a little meat on the bone out there. Runners at first and second and 2 away.
Can I make my call again? A double?
Fouled away. 2 strikes. Two strikes to Nunez. Inside with a fastball.
72 pitches for Zimmerman. 52 have been strikes.
He did not give up a run in his first 3 starts. 1 each in his next 2 starts. And here tonight, the Twins, still hitting in the 4th inning, have reached him for 5 earned runs. High chopper over the mound, and it hit the bag and goes into center field. And Suzuki will score. It's 8-6. It looked like it hit right on top of the bag.
Sometimes your wish comes true. I said hit the bag. That high chopper. Nunez picks up his second hit, driving in his 14th run. And it's an 8-6 ball game. Reaching out, hitting it right in front of home plate, and then that high hop gets over the head of the infielders. Yep, right on top of the bag. You want some lotto numbers very quickly?
Here is Sano with the tying run at first and 2 away.
And Nunez stole second base in the first inning. A throw over.
Here you got to let Sano swing away, though, don't you?
Do, yeah.
An excuse me roller right side. Kinsler has it, spins, throws off target. A run will score. The ball to the backstop. Nunez will be held at third, and it's 8-7.
Timeout.
Now Sano ran into Cabrera at first base, and we'll see whether he's awarded second base. But the Twins have come to within 1 run here and have the tying run at third and 2 away.
Well, it's always a dangerous play right there, especially 2 big men colliding. But kind of a check swing with the shift with Kinsler playing up the middle. He spins around and throws that ball, and you can see doesn't happen too often.
That's about 520 pounds there.
And it'll be an infield base hit for Sano. He'll pick up an RBI, and then the error by Kinsler.
In reality, Sano tackled Cabrera. 8-7, and here is Byung-Ho Park. Big swing and a miss. Park has bounced out twice to the third baseman, Castellanos. Be an error charge to Kinsler, allowing Santana to go to third. Fouled back, 2 strikes, and so many of these at bats here in this 4th inning. Zimmerman's gotten ahead, strike 1 and strike 2, but been unable to finish off the batter.
Santana scored. There's 4 put on the board here for the Twins, top of the 4th.
And Nunez, the runner at third. High fastball got him. Well, the Twins put 4 up in the 4th. They bat around, and we got a ball game. with the Twins down just a run, presented by Quicken Loans. Ricky Nolasco leading the team with 37 strikeouts. Justin Verlander, who the Twins will face on Wednesday, has 50. And they'll face each other noon Central on Fox Sports North Wednesday afternoon. Well, quite a turn of events here. The Tigers jumped on Jose Barrios and Pat Dean to score 8 runs in the first, but now it's a 1-run ball game. And there's strike 1 to Miguel Cabrera.
Pat Dean, again, he came in. First 3 guys got hits, but he settled down nicely. Got the big double play off the bat of Martinez to end last inning. Get those guys back on the bench as quick as possible.
And strike 2.
Two and a third so far, only 1 run allowed on 5 hits.
First 3 batters he faced got hit. Since then, just the 2 hits. 1 and 2 to Cabrera. A walk and a single so far tonight.
What's so nice about that inning is that a couple of errors, but 6 hits for the Twins, the most hits they've had in 1 inning this year.
Popped up. And out of play.
A lot of good things happened for the Twins in the top of the inning.
I believe 6 of the 7 runs the Twins have scored are earned against Zimmerman. 1 and 2. Roller to short. Bobbled. And Nunez comes up firing, and Cabrera just barely gets to the bag. 1 away.
You know, what's nice about that play right there, Nunez didn't panic. He knew who was running. And even though he kind of boxed that ball up, it dropped straight in front of him, and he didn't. And you barehand it like exactly what he did and then throw it over to first.
Zimmerman in 48 innings coming into the game had only given up 8 earned runs all year long. Victor Martinez with 2 groundouts, 1 to first and 1 to short. Way out in front, strike 1.
Watch Nunez right here, get in front of it, hit the heel of his glove, but then, okay, set, make a good throw for the first out. Tom Kelly would always scream out, "Don't panic!"
In a panicked voice. 2 strikes.
Martinez hitting .280 as a right-handed hitter. One of his 5 home runs coming from the right side of the plate.
It's hit to left. And Rosario tracks it down, catching the line drive for out number 2. Tuesday, May 24th, it's the 12th annual Kids in the City, celebrating the Fox Sports North Boys and Girls Club All-Stars. The event starts with a pregame party at Fulton Brewery, followed by the Twins and Royals game at Target Field. Visit foxsportsnorth.com, click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar for details.
It's got to be an exciting time for Pat Dean. 6+ years in the minor leagues. You know, he did make his major league debut against the Orioles at home. This is his 2nd appearance, and he's settling down nicely, mixing in all his pitches. Big breaking ball right there.
Facing these Tiger hitters for the 2nd time, and that'll be the acid test for him, I would think. They've not seen him before, of course. He's already retired Martinez twice.
Changes speeds well. Got to hit his spots like that.
0-2.
26 years old, Pat Dean, signed by the Twins back in 2010.
First, it was Victor Martinez, then Castellanos, and now the Tiger dugout barking at Doug Eddings. So the frustration, and really that's all there's been this year for the Tigers, is frustration. Mounting a little bit here in the middle innings. Got him looking. And Eddings calls out Castellanos, and Pat Dean has a 1-2-3-4, and Castellanos has just been tossed. And here comes Brad Ausmus. He'll probably be next.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Get him on the goddamn plate. Get him on plate. I don't give a shit.
Tigers home in a victory tonight because Brad Ausmus had enough of Doug Eddings, came out and expressed some thoughts.
Well, he got it in his face right there. Ended up getting thrown out. And then Ausmus showing some frustration of Doug Eddings' strike calls.
He'd already been tossed at this point.
Saying that's where that pitch was inside, takes off his jacket, covers home plate, and he's not done yet. As he walks away, I don't like that hat either.
And Trevor Plouffe will lead off the top of the fifth in a one-run game.
Well, Trevor started last inning off with a base hit, later scored.
I beg your pardon, Castellanos apparently was not tossed, but the manager was. Here's a drive to center, and MAYBIN chases it. And gets there on the edge of the track to make the catch. A deep fly for the first out. I saw an ejection signal by Doug Eddings. I assume that was the batter, Castellanos, when in fact it was the manager, Ausmus, who was tossed.
Yeah, Ausmus getting tossed for the 9th time in his career, 2nd time this season. So as you mentioned, Gene Lamont now taking over.
There's Brian Dozier.
Gene Lamont, the bench coach.
Dozier, an infield hit and a ground ball to second. And Zimmerman gets strike one. Off the end of the bat, foul.
Hey guys, will you get that towel right there, please?
Zimmerman's 4th inning could have turned out a lot better for him and the Tigers. Plouffe had a single, but Rosario's double should have been caught by Upton and left. Dozier strikes out on 3 pitches, 2 down.
Zimmerman picks up his 6th strikeout.
And then Santana banged one off the second base bag. Some weird things happened.
Well, that little cutter gets Dozier. Yeah, but those are good things for the Twins.
Well, what I'm saying is it's not like the Twins were hitting, line drive after line drive against Zimmerman. Rosario taking ball 1. Rosario hit the liner to left. He hit the ball pretty hard, but Upton didn't play it well in left field and it dropped for a double. 1-1.
I like the one that Nunez hit right on top of second base bag. Sometimes when you're struggling, you need good things to happen. Twins have fought back within 1.
And now 1-2. Zimmerman hoping to have a comeback inning after a lot of things went kaflooey in the 4th. Well, he got Plouffe quickly on a deep fly ball and struck out the next 2 batters on 6 pitches.
His first 1, 2, 3 inning. And if you get circled just like that, you might find yourself in a Minnesota Lottery winner's circle where you could win a $100 worth of lottery scratch-off tickets courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery. They drove, what, 800 miles?
800 miles. That could put
nice.
them anywhere, I don't know, Montevideo, someplace like that maybe. Well, Pat Dean will pitch to the Tigers in the 5th. He'll face Justin Upton, Cameron Maybin, and Jared Saltalamacchia. First pitch popped up to Mauer. 1 away. The Twins have some more work to do. But what an improbable comeback this would be if they can, in fact, come back from 8-0 and maybe win a ball game. One down.
And again, Pat Dean doing his job. Yeah, he struggled in the 2nd inning relieving Barrios, but has settled down nicely.
Maybin's walked and singled. Made a nice running catch on Plouffe's drive in the top half of this inning. Strike 1. If you just joined us, Jose Barrios was knocked out in the 1st inning. 2/3 of an inning. He allowed 7 runs. Pat Dean in relief allowed 1 more that inning. Hasn't given up anything since. And the Twins got 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th. And a base hit through the hole left side. Maybin having a nice return to the Tigers with 2 singles and a walk.
Now, Maybin stole a base in the 2nd inning, so keep an eye on him at first.
And you raised the question, and you answered the question. And now look where we are. We're in the 5th inning. It's a 1-run ball game. So, you know, they were up, what, 7 runs at the time, I believe. Yeah, you still keep playing. There's too much weird stuff that could happen.
Right.
Saltalamacchia with a walk and a strikeout. And see Dean pretty quick getting that ball to home plate with a little pickup of that front leg.
You know, did that Mark Burley, John Danks with Chicago. Both those guys very quick home. They don't bring up that right knee too far. Kind of the slide step that right-handers use. Dean uses that as a left-hander. And a throw over.
Fastest I ever saw from the right side, the Orioles had an otherwise really nice guy, but he didn't have a great career. Dave Johnson, right-handed. He would barely, he's done some broadcast work for the Orioles.
Yep.
Just would barely get his spikes out of the ground and stride forward toward the hole and through again. Same spot as Maybin's base hit.
Yeah, deja vu right there on both those ground balls.
And now Iglesias with the Tigers threatening to push the lead out a little bit here in the 5th.
Saltalamacchia picking up his first hit. An RBI walk in the first, then a strikeout. Then that seeing eye base hit through the infield.
Iglesias with a 3-run double in the first, and then he struck out in the third. Couple of seeing eye singles, and now Dean would like to get a ground ball hit at somebody here. He got a double play grounder in the third to end that inning.
Yeah, that off the bat of J.D. Martinez.
Inside again, 2-0. Brandon Kinsler, who might be brought in to face Ian Kinsler. Just getting started to get loose out there, though. There's a strike over the inside corner, 2-1. High fly center field. Santana with plenty of room out there. And that's out number 2.
Yeah, did a good job of getting underneath that ball. Or setting up to make a good throw.
And a strong throw it was, right to the third base bag. And now Kinsler will face Dean.
And another little thing, but Dean the pitcher, that's your responsibility. He was over by the railing in foul territory in case that ball got away from Trevor Plouffe. So even though you're pitching, you still have a job to do after, the ball's put into play.
And now the Twins are going to let Dean pitch to Kinsler here. He already has 3 hits, a home run, double, and single.
Watch out. Dave Clark.
Who should be in the third base coach's box anyway.
I think we showed it in Minnesota how far he gets, toward the dugout and where he comes toward home plate.
Right now he's almost as close to home plate as he is to third base.
Yeah, he could steal home really easy.
1 strike to Kinsler. Taken low. Well, the Twins have fought hard to get back to within a run here, and an awfully big at bat with Kinsler already picking up 3 hits in the ball game. Singled against Dean, doubled against Dean, although the double was just a pop fly into short right field. Drifting outside, 2-1.
Dean last year spent the whole season in Rochester, 12-game winner. Very good 2.82 ERA last year. Came to spring training. Worked in 3 games in spring training.
And now 3-1 with J.D. Martinez on deck. By now, Kinsler has had time to warm up, but what a terrible situation to bring him in the event Kinsler walks.
Yeah, I saw Neil Allen kind of running to the phone, making sure that he's okay. This is a dangerous pitch right here.
3-1 to Ian Kinsler. Popped him up to short left center field. Rosario with the catch. Great work by Pat Dean through the 5th. The Twins are down by just a run. Pepsi fan of the game is Kyle Hammer, celebrating his birthday today. He's the radio producer engineer for the Twins radio network.
And also happy birthday to Jack Morris, celebrating his 61st birthday. So Jack, happy birthday. I know he's watching.
He better be. Got to do the postgame show. Well, Zimmerman's still out there. He'll face Kurt Suzuki, Danny Santana, and Joe Mauer in the 6th inning. Suzuki takes strike one. Suzuki with a 2-run home run that started this comeback. Can you call it a comeback if you haven't tied the score yet?
I tell you what, it's a valiant effort so far.
Yeah. And then Suzuki singled and scored in that crazy 4th inning.
You know, Zimmerman's still out there because he's a strike thrower. 88 pitches now for Zimmerman. 15 in the first, 17 in the second, 13 in the third. He needed 32 to get out of that hit around inning for the Twins, but only 9 last inning.
Tough hop fielded by Iglesias. He makes a great play. That second hop jumped up on him and he stayed with it for the out.
Man can play some defense. Iglesias going to his left. You can see him reach out at the last second. Even Omar Vizquel, I know he's on the bench right there. I know he's proud of that play.
So 1 out in the 6th, and now Danny Santana threatens to bunt, takes a strike. Santana singled in that 6-hit 4-run inning.
There's Omar Vizquel. Coffee's too hot.
And now 2 strikes taken with Santana threatening to bunt again. Roller to Iglesias. 2 down. Well, Zimmerman's done a nice job. And again, the Twins weren't slashing the ball, hitting line drives all over the place in that 4th inning. There were 2, maybe 3 well-hit balls that inning. But now he's come back and retired 6 men in a row once the Twins got the tying run to 3rd. Twins Flex Plan gives you the flexibility to choose your games and your number of seats. You can choose in advance, even the day of the game. So don't plan. Flex Plan. Go to twinsbaseball.com/flex or call 833-TWINS. Here's Mauer, 0 for 3. Now 4 for 21 since being moved into the leadoff spot. And a couple of strikeouts today. We haven't seen Joe have too many 2-strikeout games this year. Routine play to Kinsler. And Zimmerman. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings in the top of the 6th. The Tigers have a 1-run lead. runs since. Pat Dean has been tremendous here in terms of keeping the Twins in the game. He gave up a run when he was rushed into the game in the first inning, one of his own runs, and has pitched a scoreless second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, he's worked out of a couple jams, but got the big out of Kinsler to end the bottom of the fifth inning.
J.D. Martinez pokes a single to right. And it's a leadoff hit. There were 2 one-out singles that Dean left aboard in the fifth. And now Cabrera comes up with a man aboard. You get some appreciation for the depth of this Detroit lineup. You were able to work your way out of a jam in the fifth. Now you're 1 pitch into the sixth. There's a man on, nobody out. You got to face Cabrera and Victor Martinez and Castellanos.
Yeah, it's a dangerous lineup.
Ground ball to third.
There we go.
Plouffe to Dozier. And 2 pitches into the inning. There are 2 outs.
Second double play turn behind Pat Dean. Nicely turned. Cabrera jumping on that first pitch, hitting it sharply to Plouffe. And Dozier has plenty of time to make a good throw to Joe Mauer. So Plouffe going to his left. Cabrera. It's a ball. A lot of times we'll see him hit sharply somewhere else than there, but Twins will take it.
15 rows back in the seats. Victor Martinez is 0 for 3. 2 ground balls, and he hit a liner to Rosario his last time up. Strike at the knees. The bickering between the Tigers and Doug Eddings began in Martinez's at-bat in the 4th inning. There was a second strike called on Victor Martinez that he didn't like. Check swing, and he held. And the dialogue continued from the Tiger dugout through the Castellanos at bat. And Castellanos was called out on strikes, and Doug Eddings made the ejection sign, and we thought it was Castellanos who was tossed, but instead it was the Tiger manager. Now in the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Then Ausmus came out, got his money's worth. One and two. Wide of the bag.
Good slider right there. Got in on Martinez that he fouled off.
That's the promo there that I'm going to read again if the Twins tie it up with my Star Wars voice.
Good. I want to hear it. Well, I don't, but I do.
Popped up. Short center. Santana coming in. Another good inning for Pat Dean as he faces just 3 men in a scoreless 6th.
great atmosphere.
We have good fans.
Exceptional fans, and it's always electric playing there.
They come out and support their team.
It's a big park, so it's good to pitch in.
A lot of gaps that you can hit and stretch out for doubles and triples.
I love playing against Miguel Cabrera. He's one of the funnest guys to play against in all of baseball.
It's always nice to beat those guys too.
I like Comerica Park.
Tigers are 6th in the American League in average attendance, just under 30,000 a game. And the Twins trying to pull off an improbable come-from-behind win. Here's Eduardo Nunez, and a lot of quick outs on both sides.
Quit hitting it to that guy.
Well, Zimmerman, not that he didn't have some adversity that he had to pitch around in the 4th inning, but now these at-bats are lasting 2 and 3 pitches, and all that does is make sure he's still out there in the 7th and 8th inning.
Well, you know what? In every start, he's thrown at least 100 pitches plus, the most 108 a couple starts ago, but 9 pitches in the 5th, only 8 last inning, and he got a quick out right there. 95 pitches thrown.
Sano homered and got a run in with a single. Ball 1. Sano hitting his 6th home run of the year.
Yeah, he got a pitch middle in that he hit into the left field bleachers.
1-1.
Both pitches outer half of the plate. Don't want to make a mistake again if you're Zimmerman to Sano. Salto Lamacchia sitting outside.
And swing and a strike, 1 and 2.
Another pitch outer half of the plate. Working quickly.
Dribbler foul. We've talked about the crazy game right before the All-Star break last year. Twins were down 6-0 late. Brian Dozier with a big walk-off home run in the 9th inning. And how it was in some respects a defining game for both teams. The Tigers never really recovered after that. The Twins were a couple games short of getting into the playoffs. Popped up foul and out of play. And with all the rumblings that you're hearing here in Detroit, you wonder if the Twins somehow find a way to come back and win this game, whether there could be changes made in Detroit as well.
Well, especially the 5th, 6th, and now routing only 6 pitches, 100 right now for Jordan Zimmerman.
1 and 2 to Sano. Struck him out. 2 down.
Off-speed pitch right there, a changeup, and it's strikeout number 8 for Zimmerman in 9 straight outs. 82-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch.
He's done a great job recovering after that weird 4th inning when the Twins got 6 hits, 4 runs, and Tigers actually had their bullpen warming up. Park takes strike 1. 2 ground balls and a strikeout for the designated hitter.
Park hasn't really squared up one yet.
To left center, hooking toward the foul pole, or flag pole I should say, and off the base of the fence, rolling away from MAYBIN, and Park has a 2-out double.
Yeah, he squared up that one too. Again, you know, this ballpark, yeah, it's a hitter's ballpark if you get it up maybe down the lines, but out in right center, left center, a long poke. And Park, good extension right here on this pitch. That was right outer half of the plate.
A little bit off the end of the bat.
You can see the uppercut swing, the strength. And it's a double for Park, his 6th double of the year.
And Plouffe with a chance to tie the game potentially with a hit to the outfield. Plouffe with a single and a run scored, a strikeout and a fly ball to center. Some activity down there in the bullpen. The 2 Wilsons, one a lefty, one a righty. Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, has spoken his piece. And now Plouffe comes up. Twins got the tying run to 3rd base in that 4th inning and haven't had a base runner since, until Park's 2-out double here in the 7th. Swing and a miss. 1 strike to Trevor Plouffe.
I was talking to Trevor Plouffe about that intercostal strain that he had. And he says, you know what? When I miss a pitch, I swing through it. That's when I feel it. And he says, I can play through it. Just it takes a little second for it to go away.
Driven to right, chasing Martinez back to the warning track, and he makes the catch. Drop the ball, and the game is tied. Plouffe to second base.
And here comes the read.
Give me the promo. A routine catch. He had to run after the ball, but it was right there. And the Twins have tied it up on the 3rd Tiger error.
Yep, 3rd error of the ball game for the Tigers. An easy fly ball. Martinez gets there, gets a glove. It's in the glove. It just clanked it. He just clanked it. The ball just fell out. He's underneath it. Hit the middle of the glove and bounced out. And Park continued to run. And it's an 8-8 ball game.
Barrios is off the hook. And we got a new ball game with the go-ahead run at second and 2 down. Here's Dozier, who delivered the crushing home run against the Tigers last July.
Oh, what a comeback by the Twins.
Strike 1.
If they want to give you runs, you take it. And the Twins tied it up at 8 apiece, down 8-0 after the first inning. Keep fighting, guys.
Oh, and 2.
Well, he's just working Brian Dozier over with that cutter away.
Got an infield hit in the second, hit a ground ball weakly to Kinsler in the 4th, and struck out on 3 pitches in the 5th.
Both teams with 11 hits, 8 runs. Tigers with 3 errors, Twins nothing.
2 strikes to Dozier. In the dirt, blocked by Saltalamacchia.
That changeup that he has almost looks like a split finger. That ball just drops straight down. He's got a good one.
Down and away, 2-2. Well, the pitch count getting up to 109.
Well, the most that he has thrown so far this year. It was 108. Let's make him throw about 120.
Three and 2 with Rosario. Called 3rd strike.
A delayed call.
Doug Addings, I thought, had called ball 3. And here comes Paul Molitor to try to keep his second baseman in the game. Well, the Twins tied up. Got some help from the Tiger outfielder J.D. Martinez. Ausmus is already gone, and we don't know whether Paul Molitor will follow him. He'll get back to the dugout. And we head to the bottom of the 7th, incredibly tied at 8.
saying thank you very much. I get a no decision. Let's take a look at that last pitch to Dozier. And Foxtrack says, right there, but Doug Eddings, Eddings is the master back there. He called it strike 3. It's just a delay call.
And as our director Matt Gangle pointed out, we're not directly behind home plate like we are at, say, Target Field. We're kind of, the center field camera is off center. So essentially a new ball game, and now Castellanos will face Pat Dean. Dean struck him out looking, and that caused the ejection of, we thought, Castellanos, based on Doug Eddings' immediate ejection signal, but instead it was the Tiger manager, Brad Ausmus. Castellanos with an RBI single in the first, a fly to center, and then he was called out in the fourth. And another one flipped foul over by the tarp and back into the seats. Castellanos, Upton, and MAYBIN in a tie game. Tigers got 8 runs, knocked out the Twins starter Jose Barrios back in the first inning. And Dean has been superb ever since.
He really has. He's given up some hits, but he's really working both sides of the plate very nicely. Now Suzuki is going to creep back inside.
And the pitch is up.
Dean with 4 strikeouts, no walks.
To left. Rosario back. Gone. A home run.
That ball didn't get in far enough.
Castellanos hits his 8th. And the Tigers are back in front.
Well, they struck him out in the 4th inning with that fastball in, and Suzuki wanted to go back in there again, but did not get in far enough. So Zimmerman, who's probably done after 110 pitches, is rewarded with a home run, and Tigers have a lead now at 9-8.
The Twins letting it ride with Dean. Was called up as a starting pitcher in AAA. And he has thrown 88 pitches. It's the first run he's given up since the first inning, and now Justin Upton. And Upton late on Dean's 85-mile-per-hour fastball. Upton has struck out twice and popped up on the first pitch he saw in the 5th inning. Mauer caught it. Foul back. Oh, 2 to right.
That's trouble.
And Sano will play that on a hop. So a bomb to left, a flare to right, and the Tigers are in business here in the 8th inning with 1 run already on the board.
Well, the first home run that Dean has allowed, just Suzuki wanted that ball in a little bit, and credit Castellanos, who struck out on that pitch as last time, opened up quickly and hit a line drive home run. Paul Molitor out to take out Pat Dean, but very, very good job.
Dean will leave with the Tigers in front by a run.
the game, an 8 spot put on by the Tigers in the bottom of the first inning. Kinsler started the game off with a home run and then proceeded to get a lot of walks, 4 walks for Jose Barrios in that first inning. Yeah, but the Twins came back. Suzuki, a 2-run home run, made it an 8-2 ball game in the second. In the third, Sano's home run made it 8-3 ball game. Twins 8-7 now with a big 4-run inning with 6 hits in the fourth. That ball hit right off the bag. I love it. And Trevor Plouffe, with the help of Martinez, hit a fly ball, and Park scores to make it 8-8. But Castellanos comes back in the bottom of the inning and just hit the home run to make it a 9-8 ball game.
Ryan Presley in now, nobody out, a runner at first, and the Tigers back in front. He'll face Cameron MAYBIN, Jared Saltalamacchia, and if barring a double play, Jose Iglesias. Bunt. Presley has an out to get at first base. He gets it, and Upton goes to second.
Well, MAYBIN laying down a very good bunt. That's what he was asked to do. Advancing Upton to second. So a good Tigers debut for MAYBIN. A walk, a single, stole a base, another single, then the sacrifice bunt.
Saltalamacchia with a walk and a run scored, a strikeout in the second, then he singled and was left aboard in the fifth.
See Presley making his 19th relief appearance.
Deep to the right field corner, but Sano is there to catch the line drive. Wow, that one had some hook and some sink. Oh, that ball was headed to the wall. 2 down.
Well, you know, as a reliever, I know Pat Dean in the minor leagues started most of his career down there, 6+ seasons, but I think he pitched a great whale of a ball game. 5 1/3 innings, 10 hits allowed, 2 runs. The run at second still his responsibility, but no walks, 4 strikeouts.
Now Iglesias. Biggest swing of the bat for either team was Iglesias's 3-run double in the first inning. Since then, a strikeout and a fly to center. Suzuki, I don't know if he's looking over his right shoulder or looking in the dugout. I'm wondering where that pitch was. Ball 1. And now outside 2-0.
Biggest problem Ryan has had is too many walks. 14 walks, even though one is an intentional walk in 20 2/3 innings coming into this outing. Does have 22 strikeouts.
That number needs to be cut in half. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
Ryan, 27 years old, in his 4th season with the Twins.
Plouffe sidearms his throw on target. And the Twins come off the field down a run. Castellanos' leadoff home run puts the Tigers back in front.
Today, 9-8 right now. The Tigers are ahead in this copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Twins have left-handed hitting Eddie Rosario, right-handed hitting Kurt Suzuki, switch hitting Danny Santana due to face the Tigers here in the top of the 8th inning, and it'll be left-handed reliever Justin Wilson, who's been okay. A lot of hits allowed, but and a high opponent batting average as the result, but he hasn't walked people, and he's only given up 1 home run.
Yeah, Wilson coming over from the Yankees in a trade over the winter for a couple of minor leaguers in his first season, 28-year-old left-hander.
Rosario scored a couple of runs. He got a double back in the 4th inning when the Twins scored 4 runs. Outside, ball 1. Chopper, foul, and it's 1-1. Been a crazy game. The Twins lost their starter in the 1st inning. Jose Barrios knocked out after 2/3 of an inning. Down 8-0. And then the Twins started working their way back, finally tying it in the top of the 7th, and the Tigers regained the lead in the bottom. Off the plate, 2-1.
Now you see Wilson straight over the top, a good fastball, big curveball, changeup. Originally signed by the Pirates in 2008 out of Fresno State.
Two and two. Walks were the biggest undoing for Barrios, as he ended up walking 4 men in the 1st inning. Twins haven't taken a walk in the ball game. Credit Zimmerman for that. 2-2 to Rosario. And now ball 3. With Rosario not the easiest guy in the world to walk.
Yeah, you know what, Justin Wilson, opponents hitting .305, left-handers actually hitting .360 off of him. 9 hits and 25 at-bats. And right-handers hitting only .258.
Full count to Rosario starting the top of the 8th inning. Fisted foul. If not for Rosario or Suzuki, it does or will turn Santana around to the side of the plate where he has just 1 hit. His slug bunt single in Cleveland the other night.
That's right. Actually, he was 0 for 10. Now he's 1 for 1. Because he got a hit in his last time up as a right-handed hitter.
Rosario swings through a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, 1 down.
And Wilson picks up a strikeout. 10th time the Twins have gone down on strikes. Zimmerman with 9 strikeouts in his 7 innings.
Here's Suzuki, a couple of hits, including a home run, 2 runs scored, 2 runs batted in. Oswaldo Arcia is in the on-deck circle. And he apparently is going to hit for Danny Santana. Strike 1.
I don't remember Santana doing anything that might have injured himself. Hopefully he's okay.
Suzuki will try to beat out a bunt, but Wilson picks it up and throws him out by a step and a half. 2 down.
Bunt a little bit too close to the pitcher's mound.
You can watch the Twins on the go. Stop by the Fox Sports Go booth Thursday when the Twins take on the Blue Jays. Download the app and get a free Go cell phone wallet. Visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events for details. It will be Arcia, and it might be just nothing more than a switch hitter in the case of Santana, who's not seen much left-handed pitching. not real confident from that side of the plate. And Arcia will try to tie it up with one swing. Half swing, strike one. Arcia had a tough day at the plate yesterday in Cleveland, facing a guy he pretty much owned prior to that, Trevor Bauer, and Bauer pretty much ate him up. One strike. Two strikes. See, Arcia's gotten some hits from against lefties. Fought one off, pitched down and away, and he got a piece of it.
Yeah, I think most of his hits against lefties have gone the other way. Taking that ball to left field with the shift on, if he could just hit that ball toward third base or sharply in the left.
We've seen him use the whole field more than he has in his prior years. Very high.
Wilson last year for the Yankees appeared in 74 ball games, 3.10 ERA, had a 5-0 record out of their bullpen. One thing that the Tigers tried to improve on was their bullpen. Wilson, one of those new additions.
Fouled away, and that might have been a pitch that Arcia could have handled.
It was up. You know, everybody pitches him up. Even the previous pitch was about know, nose high. That one was about chest high.
One and two.
Change up here.
Check this swing. Oh, strike three, says third base umpire Corey Blazer. Didn't look like from up here that Arcia offered at it, but it ends the inning. Ian Kinsler will lead off the bottom of the eighth for Detroit. And Ryan Presley, the quicker breaking ball, delivers a strike at the knees. Eddie Rosario in the game in center field. Arcia stays in the game and takes over in left. One and one.
Take a look at that check swing of Arcia. Did he go too far?
No.
Oh,
no.
I don't think he did.
Tigers were still talking about the check swing last night that was ruled in their favor when it appeared J.D. Martinez did not check his swing. Should have been called out. And then he hit the game-tying home run. Cabrera hit the go-ahead home run. And now in this case, Arcia did not appear to commit to the pitch. Who knows what would have happened, but the count to Kinsler 2-1. He homered, doubled, and singled all before the third inning was over with. And now 3-1. J.D. Martinez and Miguel Cabrera will follow.
You keep falling behind, you have to go in that fastball mode. And Kinsler, good fastball hitter.
Plouffe picks it up. And Mauer with a backhand scoop, keeping a foot on the bag. Nice play by Mauer with Plouffe spinning and throwing a sinker across the diamond.
And throwing it up the line, so Joe Mauer kind of had to change his stretch position, how he tries to get to the ball. Kinsler fastball got in on him a little bit, but Trevor's ball up the line. Joe has to get it on one hop, and Kinsler does a good job of not running over Joe Mauer, too.
Here's J.D. Martinez. Swing and a miss.
So a nice pick by Joe over at first.
One strike. Martinez with a pair of hits. Milwaukee grounded into a double play. That's deep to left. And another solo home run for the Tigers. And they lead by 2.
Home run number 7 on the season for J.D. Martinez. Third home run for the Tigers, all of them solo. And now it's a 10-8 ball game.
Fourth home run allowed by Presley on the season in just over 21 innings.
Fastball came running in. Take a look at the location. Suzuki wants it away on the opposite side of where Suzuki wanted it. And Martinez opening up and hitting that line drive home run.
Here's Cabrera. That's to right. And it'll settle in Sano's glove for out number 2. Motioning like he might have lost that ball in the lights a little bit. At any rate, 2 down. Carsoup.com trivia question. I think I had picked 17, which covers 15 through 19.
Said 22.
19 runs in Detroit in 2008. Total was 19-5 after 3 innings. Is that right? Or 19-3 after 5. At any rate, Tigers get into double digits tonight. Ball 1. Victor Martinez had a tremendous series in Minnesota. 9 hits and 13 at bats. Tonight he's 0 for 4. To left. Arcia is there. And the Tigers add one more in the bottom of the 8th on their 3rd solo home run. NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. Crazy game with the Tigers getting 8 in the first and then single runs in the bottom of the 7th and the 8th to forge a 10-8 lead as we go to the top of the 9th inning. And this year's Tiger closer, Francisco Rodriguez, will come into the 9th.
It's a good one. Rodriguez has always had very good success against the Twins. He's got 9 saves, 2 of them coming against the Twins in Minnesota earlier in April. But 395 career saves for Rodriguez. He's been pitching since 2002 when he was with the Angels.
Joe Mauer 0 for 4 tonight. He'll lead things off. Give you some idea how good Rodriguez has been. Joe has been the Twins' best hitter for quite some time now. Romine in the game at third base. And Joe's just 1 for 8 against him. Usually Mauer has 8 at bats against anybody. He's got at least a couple hits.
You know, Rodriguez is always, he doesn't have the fastball he once had when he first came up at a young age with the Angels, but still pretty good control. Got a nasty curveball. Very good changeup.
1 strike to Mauer. On the ground, hit right to the shortstop Iglesias.
And that was a curveball right there.
1 down.
So Joe had a tough night, 0 for 5.
Time now for What's Next, brought to you by CenturyLink. A couple of starting pitchers that are really struggling. Former Twin Mike Pelfrey again, and coming off his best start. He gave the Tigers a really good chance to win, but the bullpen blew it, and Phil Hughes has really been scuffling.
Well, and he needs a good outing tomorrow. He has really scuffled as of late, and this is a big outing for him to see where he's headed. Hopefully to stay in the starting rotation, and Pelfrey's, like you said, he's coming off his best outing, but he got a no decision.
Twins need a bloop and a blast. And Nunez has a couple of hits. Doesn't have a bloop yet. He did chop one in front of the plate, and the second hop hit the middle of the second base bag. Part of a 4-run 4th inning for the Twins. And a strike, 1-1. A few years ago, the Tigers had a closer here, Fernando Rodney. He had a great changeup, but he also had a mid-90s fastball. Rodriguez doesn't have the fastball anymore.
So he relies on the changeup, the breaking ball. I mean, there's an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. That's probably it right now for him. But he's always had a good idea how to pitch. And you don't have 395 saves if you don't know how to pitch a little bit. Change speeds, add and subtract.
One and 2 to Nunez. Sano will follow, and then the Twins hope to get Park to the plate. Down and away. That's the fastball, 89 miles per hour. He threw about 8 miles harder earlier in his career. Sano has a home run and an RBI single. That home run by J.D. Martinez, just a backbreaker in the bottom of the 8th inning. That is a great stop behind the bag by Romine, and he throws him out.
Yeah, defensive replacement was at the right spot. Just kind of went to his right, made a nice backhanded play. An easy throw over to Cabrera. Nunez hit that ball very sharply, but Romine making a nice play.
So 2 down, and Sano will hit, hoping to keep the game alive for Park. Sano homered to left, then hit a check swing roller to the right side, ended up being credited with an RBI single in the 4th. On the outside corner, a strike. The changeup.
Yep.
And it's 0-2.
He's always been a strikeout pitcher. He's averaged 11 strikeouts per 9 innings, Rodriguez.
approaching 400 saves. And the Tigers have now won 4 straight over the Twins, scoring the first 8 and the last 2 runs here tonight.
Well, this is a ball game that the Twins were down early. They fought back, but end up losing. Too bad.
A little too much power for the Tigers, Anthony LaPanta. They hit 3 home runs. The Twins with some nice pushback in the middle innings, but they end up coming up short.